We're back with another Netfix original starring our 2015 Audi A4 Quattro Prestige, showing you how to remove and install the headlight assemblies for ease of bulb replacement, better visual inspection. Keep watching and make it easy. She blown good. Step, remove what they call the lock carrier cover. They have these very ridiculous push pins, 4 of them on the top, and I'll show you how they work. Basically, you just want to push it in, pop it out, and then when you're installing it, you can come out with it just to the point where that folds, your tangs fold in all the way, and then get that back in, push them in, and then just push that to flat. After you've removed those 4 push pins, really it just needs to lift up on these sides. Those. Voila. Okay, so next step, we're gonna remove our passenger side headlight assembly. For you guys, we're gonna choose the hard one. You have an air filter housing here on, sorry, we have a cold air intake, so it does make it a little easier for us. If you do have your air filter housing OEM, you're gonna need to remove it. It looks like it just has a push and grommet, so once you get whatever's on the top of it off, you'll probably be able to just pull the bottom of the air filter housing out. We're gonna start removing this headlight. Very simple. We have to remove this T30 and this T30. And then we have, down in here, you got 2 more T30s, and they just need to back off a few turns because it'll slide out. And then your adjusting mechanism, T30. We also have 1 electrical connector. And then there's also a vent tube right here on the inside that once we undo it and get it partially out, we can access it. And we'll show you that in a minute.
It got me.
We're gonna try and remove it without removing this entire mechanism, just to see. It might be harder to move it around, but we'll find out. So those 5 bolts, the 1 electrical connector, and we can just slide it forward. Really, we're gonna want to swing the inside out first. And here is our vent tube, right there. That's where the seam is. And now that we have that vent tube off, we just are gonna swing it like that. And there she is. Okay, now that we have our headlamp assembly on our bench, I'm not 100% sure on what modules or what exactly. I know this is your LED driver. We're gonna just pull out all 3 modules and clean up the connector and put some lube dielectric grease on the seal and on the pins. But other than that, we just have a cap here and a cap here. So we have our high beam and low beam HID bulb right here. It's this entire mechanism, which we will be replacing. And then on the side here, we have a cornering lamp bulb, and that is this guy right there. It's the H7 halogen. And this long connector piece right here, you just turn this and that will be your flasher. I don't know what the type of bulb that flasher is, but I'm sure we can find it if we do some research. So that's what we're going to do, is we're just going to replace the HID, we're going to replace the halogen, we're going to clean our connections and our seals, and throw her back together. But we'll also do a visual inspection because we're having a cornering light for the right front headlight, and we're just going to see if we can find anything inside causing any faults, like broken wires or disconnected connectors. And when it's out, it's just easier to see in there, especially when you pop off these two. There's tight connectors, so you just want to get it out a little bit, get the connector off, and we'll be able to see a little more of the wiring and the internals of these. So all three of these modules are held on by 3 T20 Torx bits. And don't over tighten these when you put them back in, because it is just plastic. So I like to just run this on my lowest setting. Just slowly wiggle it. Don't pull too hard because it is attached to a wiring harness. And on this one, you gotta kind of come out a bit on an angle. No, maybe just because of the wiring so tight. Basically, between the white connector and the metal connector is where the release tab is. Push that release tab in, and on these metal connectors, just wiggle and pull. Inspect for corrosion. We'll clean our connectors, some dielectric grease, and install. Another toy connector, and that is the release tab. It's on the outside of the harness. Push that baby in. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. No corrosion. Common to get corrosion if your inner fender liners have a hole in them or been rubbed through because you're lowered. Then water shoots up onto the underside of your headlight and can get corrosion in these connectors. And these modules are not cheap at all. This one doesn't give us access to any visual aid, but we'll clean the connector. It's basically got a connector that's directly attached with no wiring harness, as so. No corrosion. Very nice. So this is the connector for our H7 cornering lamp, and it just pulls off. And same with the actual H7 bulb. I do like this mounting style better than most H7s. You just need to pull on it straight out, and when you push it in, so you have 3 prongs that just hold that H7 bulb in. So basically all you need to do to install it is push it in, and when you're removing it, you just pull it out. And I'm going to use some angled needle nose to help me pull it out because my fingers are a little hard to get in there. And we got a burnt out bulb. And last but not least, the HID bulb. This connector is the same. Just pull it out, wiggle it. Just gonna pry on it evenly all around, just like so. Out she comes, and then with just like all other bulbs, just lefty-loosey, just gotta turn her, and straight out she comes. Not blown up like the other side, but she don't look good. Okay, so we got our HID out. We purchased the Osram night breaker, 200% increased on visibility. Doesn't have all those hot spots and worn out like the other one was. It's got a plastic turn-in retainer. The other one had a metal one. So we're just gonna put it in. Try not to touch it on anything. Go in and then voila. So that's our HID bulb installed. And we're gonna clean all our connectors now and start reassembling everything.
Quick dry. See or she electrical cleaner.
Vamos. All right, we cleaned all the connectors, dielectric the seals in the terminals. So now we're just going to make sure we go in nice and square, and just get this one's the toughest of them to line up. You don't want to bend any of the terminals, so be gentle. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's nice. For last. Always push your connector in until you hear it. Click. Last but not least, our H7 cornering bulb. I don't know how to open this, sir. No fingerprints allowed. No fingerprints allowed. So we touch down here only, sir. Tab goes upwards.
Like so. And just push in on her. And she's money.
These 30-degree needle nose definitely make life easier on this job, which would actually make it easier to do in the vehicle if you have these pliers. Last but not least, we get our caps on there all the way, and we're just going to install everything in the reverse order we took it apart. Come in like on an angle like so, and we're just gonna sweep her in. Don't forget to hook up your vent tube right down in here.
And then
boom.
slide in on those.
Tighten all up, back up your bolts. Put on your cover. And she's ready. You can replace both these bulbs. You can replace your flasher bulb all with the headlights in the vehicle. It just makes it a little bit harder, and you can't get a good visual inspection in there. So just as you watch this video, you saw how easy it is to remove the headlight assembly. You undo 5 bolts and out she comes. So definitely recommend that. That way you're not accidentally touching the filaments and the glass of the bulb, and you just get the job done right. Headlight removal and install on this 2015 Audi A4 Quattro. Hope you liked the video. It's super easy to do. Recommend trying it out yourself. Please subscribe, like, and comment down below if this video has helped you. Thanks.